Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since you guys last saw me, and I know that I've gained a few subscribers since my last video. So if you guys don't know me and it's your first time here, my name is Kari and I post true crime content and sometimes makeup and fashion videos. So I am more active on TikTok. I do have a true crime account there and I post every single day. And if you guys are interested, this is my TikTok. You guys should definitely follow me because I am a lot more active there and it's just a lot more fun there. So for today's true crime case, I'm going to be talking about a very gruesome and disturbing case that actually didn't happen too long ago, but I thought I'd share it with you guys because it does have a lot of detail and I thought that you guys would be interested in this one. So this is the case of 38-year-old Matthew Lewinski, who kept the body of his girlfriend, Jerri Winters, also known as Courtney, in his basement for 7 months. Yeah, I know. So after doing some research, I wasn't really able to find any background information on Courtney and Matthew, except that they started dating in April of 2020. They broke up in November 2020 and then got back together in December of 2020. And a lot of neighbors and friends and people who just knew the couple said that their relationship was very toxic. They argued a lot, very physical, and neighbors just said that they can hear them fighting a lot in their house. So that's kind of the information that I got. So Courtney and Matthew lived in Clinton Township in Detroit. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, but basically they both lived in Matthew's father's condo, and Matthew's father actually moved out of the condo because it was in foreclosure. So Matthew moved in, but also his father was being taken care of by his daughter, which was also Matthew's sister, Deborah. So I'm not sure if Deborah and Matthew's father was sick or something, but it seemed like he was. So then Deborah pretty much took him and he started living with her, and she was taking care of him while Matthew and Courtney were living in his father's condo. So just to clarify, Matthew was living in the home first, and when him and Courtney got together, she started living with him. I think it was April 2020, and then she moved out in November of 2020 because they got into a fight, they broke up, and then in December of 2020, they got back together, so she was living with him again. So Matthew and his sister Deborah were not in talking terms. They did not have a good relationship, and she actually said that she has not spoken to Matthew for a year, and she has not been able to come to the residence where he lived, which again is his father's house, for a year. So she hasn't seen him, she hasn't talked to him, and they just had a fallout, which I'm not really sure the reason or the specific reason, but a lot of the articles just talked about them getting into an argument because of financial reasons and also because of their father. So a lot of different information, but just know that they were not talking for an entire year. So on July 26, 2021, Matthew was admitted into the hospital for 72 hours because someone found him wandering on the streets with his underwear on, and only his underwear. So someone called police and they brought him into the hospital, and they were doing some evaluations and just wanted to see what was going on, if he was okay mentally, and just kind of, just keep an eye on him. So on July 27th, literally the next day, Matthew's sister Deborah receives a call from the condo association, which I guess is kind of like the property managers, the people that look after the condo. And they pretty much told her that Matthew left all his lights on in his unit and they needed her to come and turn them off. So I'm not sure if they knew or if they were aware about what happened to Matthew and the fact that he was in the hospital, but they decided to call her after they couldn't get in contact with him because I guess her name is probably under the condo as well. So they called her and told her to come in and check on the condo. So it's not clear if Deborah tried to call Matthew to ask him like where he was or check up on him, because like I said, they haven't been talking for about a year now. So I'm not sure if she knew or if she didn't know where he was, but she ended up going to the condo with her husband, Joseph, and her son and a friend. And they all came to the condo together to, I guess, check up on it. And also she came because she wanted to pick up some things in the basement that belonged to her. And the article said that they were like Christmas decorations that she wanted. So she came to the condo to get that. So when they got to the property, The only people that went inside the condo was Deborah's husband, Joseph, her son, and a friend. And Deborah decided to stay outside. She didn't want to go in. I'm not too sure why, but what I think is she was probably just checking to see if Matthew was coming home, and she didn't want any problems, or she didn't want Matthew to see her in the condo without his permission. So she was probably just checking to see if he was coming. So when Joseph got into the apartment, Deborah was pretty much telling him where to go to find all the Christmas ornaments that they were looking for. And she told him to go to the basement. And when he went there, he was looking around at different boxes and kind of just checking where exactly these Christmas ornaments were. And that's when he looks to the floor to his right and he sees a body. He sees a body face down with its arms and legs spread out. And he saw that the back did not have any of the skin left. So the back part of the body was missing a large portion of their skin, and he freaked out. He literally called Deborah right away. He told her, hey, you need to call the police right now. Joseph said that he had no idea of what he was looking at when he first saw the body. He was probably in so much shock and just disbelief that it just didn't make sense to him in that moment. So if you guys haven't figured out who this person was, it was Matthew's girlfriend Courtney, who was deceased in the basement. So keep in mind that Deborah was not allowed in the residence for about a year. And now we know why. It's because Matthew had Courtney's body decomposing in there for 7 months. You guys imagine the smell of a body decomposing for about 7 months? I have no idea how he was living in those conditions, how he went about eating in that house, just doing the daily things. I have no idea how he did it. So let's go back to how Courtney's body was found. She basically had a large portion of skin missing from her back, all the way from her shoulders, down her torso, and just right above her buttocks. She was missing her skin, and you can see her internal organs and her bones. So I don't know, like that's just, I don't know what he tried to do. Was he trying to rip her body apart and kind of dismember her, maybe to get rid of her body? I'm not too sure, but that's what it seems like. There was blood splatter on the walls in the basement. He also left bleach, gloves, and just tools that he was going to use to, I guess, clean up the scene, but he never really got to that. And I'll tell you guys what my opinion is after on that. So when police arrived to the residence, they then went to the hospital where Matthew was staying to talk to him and just figure out what happened. And that's when Matthew pretty much confessed to the entire thing and told them everything, which was not the smartest thing for him to do. But I mean, I guess he wasn't in the right mental state at the time when he was at the hospital. So I'm not sure if that's something that he even wanted to do. I don't know. So in December, 5 days before Christmas, Matthew and Courtney get into an argument, and some articles say that they fought about financial reasons, and other articles talk about the fact that she went in his phone and found something that upset her, and that's when a big fight kind of came about, and he went about strangling her because of that. So when they fought, it was upstairs in the living room, and then he pretty much committed the act there. And when he was done, he dragged her body to the basement and left her there for 7 months. So the same neighbor that said that Matthew and Courtney fought a lot also said that she started to smell like something was dead months ago. That same neighbor also said that in June of that year, police came to her house and knocked on her door to do a welfare check, but there was no welfare check to be done. So she assumed that police got the wrong address and they were really supposed to go to Matthew's house and check up on Courtney. Neighbors also said that around the time that Courtney was murdered, Matthew had approached them and told them that Courtney was abusive and that she was no longer allowed in the house and that they were done for good. Basically trying to tell them that they were not going to see Courtney anymore. So investigators are still not sure why Matthew cut Courtney's body the way he did, and I'm not sure if he's going to talk about it either. But what I think happened was that Matthew was probably trying to dispose of Courtney's body, especially since the house was in foreclosure. Maybe he had to get out of there sometime soon, and he was just trying to get rid of the body. But he probably freaked out while doing it. He was probably trying to cut up her body, and he wasn't able to do it, or he didn't know how to do it, and he freaked out, had a panic attack, maybe a mental breakdown, and then that's why he was probably found on the street in his underwear. I don't know. I think that's kind of what happened. I also think this because, like I mentioned earlier, the crime scene was full of blood splatter, and there were gloves, bleach, and all these tools to get rid of a body, but the body was still there. And I think that Matthew tried to do that, but he started and he just never finished. So Matthew was charged with first-degree premeditated murder, mutilation of a body, and concealment of a corpse, and he does face life in prison if he is convicted of Courtney's murder. Matthew underwent several mental health evaluations and was deemed fit to stand trial, but I don't know what's going to happen and what his attorney will use as a defense for his case. Also, because I was reading that in the state of Michigan, they have a not guilty by reason of insanity, where basically they put you in a center for forensic psychiatry, and once you're deemed well enough, they put you back into society. And there's also guilty but mentally ill, where you're put in a center for forensic psychiatry, and once you're deemed well enough, then you're put into prison. So I'm not sure which one Matthew is gonna get. Definitely one of these two is a better option than completing the full term in prison, but I don't know. So this case was extremely gruesome and disturbing, but I thought it'd be a great case to share with you guys because it was interesting, and I haven't really heard much about this case out in the news. So I wanted to, just cover it and make sure people knew about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said earlier, I am very active on my TikTok. If you can, go follow me there. I post every single day. I'm also going to try to post here once a week. If you guys have any video recommendations, then just email to me in my email. It will be linked in my description. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. It really does help, and I'll see you guys all in my next case. Bye!